All right, welcome back. Let's talk about just pearl things. Let's talk about just pearl things. All right, let's talk about this young lady. I don't know, how old is it? 23, 26. Now, obviously, a 26-year-old young girl. Listen, I don't judge here, so I can't judge her. but, but, uh, but yeah. Mm.
These nuts.
I don't judge here. I don't judge people here. But I can tell you, the Prestige family, some things to watch out for. Gentlemen, this is for you. Okay? Very, very important. This is a very, very important lesson we're going to cover here today. Not only that, I'm going to do a full live session during the week. I haven't decided when yet. Okay? During the week, when I come live can be sporadic. Okay? But it's usually will be somewhere between 2 and 5 p.m. in the evening. Okay? So just make sure your notifications are on and stuff like that. I'm going to do a full live reaction and stuff like that to some of the rhetorics that this young lady had been pushing. Okay, Just Pearl Things. Who is Just Pearl Things? Who is she? Right? I know you're asking right now. Who is Just Pearl Things? Listen, I need to bring you up to speed. I'm not going to assume that you know who we're talking about. Okay, do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Now, there's some types of video that I watch here, okay, on Meta Prestige, and you can see them. I'm going to be reacting to some of them. The one thing that I need to do good, I need to make sure I do. Let me show you. Let me show you my screen really quickly. The one thing I need to do is make sure that I bring you up to speed, because some of you don't already watch some of these content creators, but these are the content creators. Eventually, you might stumble into them. They're usually they're talking about relationships, but they have different agendas. Okay, their primary reason for the most part is to make money. Okay, which there's nothing wrong with that. Their secondary reason is to grow a platform. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. What does it take to grow a platform? It's quite a few things you need to pay attention to, okay, in order to grow a platform. If you're doing what I do here, you're not going to grow fast. Okay, you're not going to grow fast. Okay, if you're talking at the center of your mouth, you're on the fence, you're trying to understand both sides, you're trying to assess things at a deeper level, you're trying to get to solutions. Now, you're not going to grow fast. You will grow though. Okay, it's a slow and steady process, right? You will grow because the audience, the Prestige family, they are bigger than us here. So eventually they will keep finding it and they will come in here, right? But it takes time. Why? Because it's not extreme. It's not extreme on either sides. So a lot of these people will claim they're talking about relationship, and majority of the audience that need to be listening to this kind of stuff, they end up over there because that's what the algorithms does. If there's more engagement and more people are sharing, it invites more people, because YouTube only cares about people watching on a consistent basis. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with any of this stuff. I'm just telling you the reality. Okay, so many of these people will be watching some of these people you're looking at on my homepage. These are the content I consume, including things like Just Pearl. Just Pearl is right here. So I'm going to search her name. I want to bring you up to speed with who Just Pearl is, so that you can have some background to why we're talking about her. She has a big platform that basically to talk about relationships. That's not what they're talking about over there. Okay, what she was doing up to at least a few days ago is pandering to men. Okay, and it aligns with what her goal is, which is to blow up a platform. So if you're looking at my screen right now, okay, you can see that's the Just Pearl Things right there. 1.38 million subscribers. Okay, what is our subscriber base here? Okay, let me show you what our subscriber is here. This is our subscriber. We're doing well. We're not doing too badly, right? 2,429 fantastic human beings that said, you know what, I don't always agree with him, but it's interesting. I think I would like to see what he has to say. Or nah, fuck that nigga. But I'm gonna subscribe anyway. Either way, I love all of you. 2,429 people, right? This is over a course of. We started this platform. Um, don't worry, I'm going somewhere. Lifetime. When did this platform start? Lifetime was exactly October 18, 2021. So we're probably 18 months in right now. Okay, you see, we've had a few viral moments here and there, right? But back to Just Pearl things. Let's talk about Just Pearl things. Share this instead, okay? So this is her. This is our platform. I'm going to click into it right now. All right. She built. Now she did have a platform on TikTok, a followership already up there, of some sort. I don't know exactly how much, but she had a followership up there. But she started building this platform. I don't know when, but she blew up over the past 1 year. Went straight to 1 million subscribers. 1.38 million. Do you know what that 0.38 means? That's another 380,000 subscribers. Okay. So, hey, let's not front. Let's not deceive ourselves. Can we be honest with ourselves? Wait, let me make sure you guys can see my face properly when I'm saying this. Okay. We're talking about Just Pearl things, right? Can we be honest? We can learn one or two things from this Antio about growing this platform. Let's not deceive ourselves, though. Right? We can learn one or two things, right? She knows something about how to grow this platform, right? So that's one. But the only difference between me and some of the trolls, gurus on the internet is they will rather just try to push the rhetoric. They will basically pander to her because they're trying to grow on her, what do you call it? On her cocktail too. Now, here's the thing. I'm doing the same thing, but I don't want to do that unless you actually get some lessons out of it. So stay with me here. Key says, shock jocks fueling gender wars by making money using extremist rhetoric. Exactly. Precisely. Now, somebody asked me, they wanted to know my thoughts about Just Pearl things. I'm like, oh, of course, I was thinking about that, but of course it makes sense. Like, she has the clout right now. It just makes sense. We have to do that because there are a lot of her followers that need to end up here at some point to have real conversations and not just repeating the same talking points to themselves. But anyway, this is her platform. Her number one video here, this is a popular videos. Her number one video is a video with Andrew Tate, which we'll talk about in a second here as well. And a debate about modern women. They debate with modern women, a bunch of arguments, blah, 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 right? Andrew Tate destroys feminists, okay? Now, the feminism thing is multiple waves, at least 4 waves. So you can't really talk about feminists from one side of your mouth. It's just stupid. Let's be honest, okay? To just say feminist is just a terrible thing, it's destroying this world. That's a half-ass conversation. It makes no sense. You only. There are 2 things. It's either you're hurting really badly, somebody said something to you, you're repeating talking points, or you just don't know anything. You don't know what you're talking about. Have you even picked up a book and read up on the history of feminism? Oh, let me guess. Even if you read it, you won't believe what you see because you've made up your mind. Exactly. So now I'm not a feminist. I may say 1 or 2 statements somewhere. You'll be like, no, why don't you just identify yourself as a feminist? I'm like, I've seen some people identify themselves as feminists. That I don't agree with those people, right? At least I can say that, right? But what you will find a lot here is one way tone about the feminists, just throwing it completely under the bus, right? And I can't do that either because it's just stupid. Okay, it's just stupid. There's no substance to that conversation at best. Okay, so that's my side of the fence. Like, no, I can't. Just like anything else in life, including you and me, it's a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. The idea that there's this thing in life that's just always the right thing and the true thing is lame talk. It's lame talk at best. Okay, it's lame talk. There's nuances in real life. Oh yeah, but you're a grown man. Why can't you just talk with a straight face and mean what you mean? Yeah, I took the mole. I don't know how to say that in English. How do you say that in English? You beat me to it. I was going to say the same thing about you. Yeah. I was about to ask you, you're a grown man. Why are you talking with monotone? Don't you have any nuances, anything like that? Oh no, but we're just generalizing it. We all generalize already. So that's a terrible excuse too. Right? But anyway, somebody found the suckers. Somebody was like, yeah, somebody was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this one. Somebody was like, yeah, I found a bunch of suckers. I'm going to just finesse them, collect all their money. That's my evil laugh. I'm just gonna collect all their money, right? And run as fast as I can with the rhetorics. Yeah, that's how I see this thing, right? So let me go back here. Let me go back to the screen. Let's go back to just Pearl. So our most popular video. Just look at the most popular titles here. One title says Andrew Tate and Pearl debate modern women, and what's the rest of it? The pregame. Okay, that's our main show. And there's a short video here, 11 minutes. Says Andrew Tate destroys feminists. These are the videos that made her popular, right? And then another one here says I'm a 10 modern women humbled. All right, gentlemen, if you have this if you have this urge to humble an ugly woman who thinks she's a 10 all the way down to 2, now your problem be that oh, see that girl the reality is that she's ugly, at least according to you, right? Now you feel this need that you must tell her that she's a 2, to the point that you consume this video 1.7 million views. I haven't seen this video. I have an idea what's in it, right? 1.7 because you came where you like boom super chat $200. Listen, Ola, you're just jealous. You are right. I would like somebody to super chat. Shout out to Embassy for that $50 super chat again. I appreciate you. Yes, you're right. I'm jealous, but let me tell you your own truth really quickly too. Yeah, this girl has finessed you. Okay, first of all, she's not teaching you anything. Well, she couldn't. She's 26 years old. But the only thing she's lacking here is wisdom. But in terms of IQ, smart. She's such a smart chick. Because she looked at the whole thing, right? She's like, yeah, Kevin Samuel passed away. A bunch of little boys who need somebody to pander to their talking point. Yeah, after all, they hate their own women. Let me just take some notes, write them down. Well, this is what she did. If you watch the shows, what she did is she will ask a question. She will end it with a very strong opinion. After you've ranted back and forth, she will gaslight you. See, I'm using the word gaslight. She will gaslight the modern women on the show. A lot of women that came on the show didn't know that's what they were getting into. So they were just talking. Before they knew it, they were going viral everywhere, being dragged by a bunch of little boys. Some of these little boys are 60 years old men. Ouch. Ha. Where is it? Where's that?
Hey! I hear me to me, but me.
Yeah. We're talking about Pearl, just Pearl things. I'm bringing you up to speed who she is. She's 26 years old, white girl. Decided that, wow, there's an audience here. They're hot. As in hot. They want somebody to say what they would like. And she kept saying it. Now, let me back up a little bit. let me back up a little bit, right? She was hella consistent. She was very, very consistent. So it's kind of hard for me not to think that she believed some of those things. Okay, now she's a 6 feet girl. You know, seems like she's into dating black guys. Seems like, you know, and I feel like she believed a lot of things she's saying. Believe it at a very surface level, as in like she has no experience to back up the belief system that she's buying into, but it makes sense. Like, you know, the the red pill, a lot of the red pill talking points, they make sense on paper. They just don't make sense in real life. They also make sense. They also make sense to people that have gone through certain types of painful experience, and they're just looking for anything that soothe their feelings. Feelings, not logic. Feelings. Okay. So what she did is she put some money together. She went to London, hired a bunch of people to help her hire talents, a bunch of girls, young girls usually. I just wanted to rant about feminism too. You know, the type of girls that I say I don't believe in what they believe in, and they call it feminism, right? And those ones just running their mouth out of their ass too. And then, boom, it's a bunch of gotchas. They just have a bunch of gotchas. So those gotchas are highly entertaining to young men who also feel like, oh, you know, oh, I knew it. I knew that I was right, right? What happens every time they say something that nails it like that? You know, the super chats are coming in, the like buttons, more importantly, the sharing. Let me tell you something. If I'm not saying something that's fiery enough for people to share, just without asking them, it's going to take us time to grow the platform. That's just how it works. Okay? And I'm okay with that. Because again, anything that's worthwhile in life takes time. Anything that's worthwhile in life takes time. It's a process. I'm not discounting the work that this girl put in. She's a hell of a YouTuber. She knows what she's doing in terms of that, right? Let me see here. Key says, funny how some of the OG YouTubers from around 2010 thereabouts are not reaching all these crazy subscriber counts in the millions. Some have not even hit 100,000 in all these years. Yeah, it's not making sense to you, right? So here's the way it works. You know, we talked about Dr. Shola yesterday, which again, I believe that these people believe what they're saying. So this is not saying they're pretending per se, but I'm telling you why it's working. I believe that to a large extent that Justin Pearl knew what she was doing. She knew that she was speaking some extreme stuff. But I believe that she kind of believes it's small too. But I can't believe that she believes it because she's only 26 with literally no experience. Okay? So it's almost impossible that she would believe, because when you believe, the belief at some level has to align with experience, right? So a bunch of 60-year-old men that are following Justin Pearl, who really aligns with what he's saying, they've gone through some kind of experience that everything she's saying confirms that, or at least makes it feel good. Like, yeah, get them, you know, like get them, right? That kind of feeling, right? So her followers absolutely believe a bunch of gibberish that she's saying, right? So again, what's the point here? The point is I want you to get to know Just Pearl things, because she's saying some things that a bunch of young men, 4.5 million views strong, 2.3 million views strong on one video, okay, are repeating back to themselves, bringing back into a relationship, bringing back on a date with you. And you want to be able to detect these things and say, bro, you've been listening to red pill nonsense. Can you speak from your heart so I can get to know you? I beg. I feel like I'm listening to YouTube, right? She's saying some of those things. So I'll be tackling them as we go along. Some of those videos will still go viral because, again, they are laced with truth. There's some things that are just factual and truth about what she's saying, which is why they're landing. It's application that's what they're missing. That's the same thing that, unfortunately, I feel like Kevin Samuel was trying to work on, but he missed that. There was no application to everything he's saying. People were just running with talking points. Okay, this girl definitely could not last that long. I felt like Kevin Samuel would have lasted longer if he was alive, because he was a man of a certain age, able to say, okay, let me adjust what I'm saying. Okay, this is not what I mean. You know, but this girl is not able to add context at all because she had no experience. He was just like a robot, right? What made it seem more nuanced is because it was a conversation on a podcast, right? So they say something, and she say one little thing here and there, little there, and she was basically gaslighting a bunch of people to yarn more dust. But they were saying dust too, back to her, right? So, and then effectively finessed a bunch of men into thinking that maybe we're getting somewhere. Maybe I was right all along. No, you were wrong. You were just not competent. You were wrong. You're still wrong. And she got called out. So what happened over the past 3 or 4 months or so, 5, 6 months or so? She blew up all over the place. You can see these videos are 3 months old, 4.5 million views, 2.3 million views. She was all over. She went viral on TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere, because of this talking points, right? But she couldn't last more than not even 6 months before the truth came out. What happened? Let me show you what happened. So when we do the live later on this week, what you will find is we're going to, let me see here. Let me find the video. When we do the video, when we decide to do this live later on, we'll do a longer live session. I'll be reacting to a bunch of videos. I want you to go check her out, see what she's saying, so that when you come back, we'll have the conversation will be even be that much sweeter, right? What happened is that over the past 2 or 3 weeks or so, she decided to interview a known racist. All right. And the truth essentially came out. So about half of the men who were following her, they were now disappointed. I'm like, I want dead. They were now disappointed. I'm like, disappointed about what? Some of us could see this from 5 months ago. What are you disappointed exactly about? So I'm gonna play the video. Then we'll go back. We'll get back to the talk here.
And I don't.
Wow.
His name is Nick Fuentes. I didn't know who this guy was until this news were breaking out. But apparently he's a known racist. And Pearl had her on the podcast. Okay. And interviewed her. And some of these points were made. So I want you to listen to it. And then, we will have a strong background for what we're about to talk about.
I wish you luck, and I don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit
Yeah,
racist.
I know.
But listen, it's not because I hate people. I love people. It's just race is real. Race is real. Race is a part of us. So, hey, it is what it is.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy. The Italians don't claim me. They don't claim you.
Oh no, they claim me. They claim me.
I don't think so.
They do.
Italian guys, yeah.
Italians,
Tell an
we're
Italian
big-
guy
we're big
about your
lovers.
affinity for black guys. That'll go over real well.
Ha 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 ha. Good one, Nick.
Maybe some brajol. There's some Italian
No,
for
but
you.
I will make my black boyfriend some of that.
Ugh, wow. You don't know any better.
All right. So there you have it. Now she didn't do anything wrong. She was just sitting there. But it got to one point in that video, and the other girl who says she's dating a black guy was like, "I love my black people," and I think he said something like "gross." Now again, and then just proud things just went like this. I just started laughing. I'm like, this girl go collect. She go collect. But anyway, she's been collecting for straight 1 week. So a bunch of people that were repeating talking points and things like that, they were now angry. Like this, that, that. Well, she said she started apologizing. She came back and said, you know what? I'm going to fire back. I don't need to apologize. And then she's doing back and forth again. 26 years old. Can you blame her? She doesn't know what she doesn't know. She's 26 years old white woman. You think she knows what racism is? For the most part, they don't. Okay? Listen, there's certain experiences I don't speak to. If I haven't experienced, I don't speak to it. I have my own opinion. It's inside me. Okay? It stays inside me. Why? Am I afraid? No. I might be missing something because I didn't have the experience. Right? But when you have a 26-year-old, a typical 26-year-old, they don't necessarily have that emotional intelligence. They're like, no, but that's my opinion. Why can't I have my opinion? Well, you've had your opinion now. Okay? You're still winning. You still got 1 point something million subscribers. But you go collect first. You go collect first. So let me share this video with you. Then we'll call it a day today with regards to just spoil things. We'll do a whole session reacting to a bunch of the gibberish she's been spewing. But this is more like a fresh video that her best friend, her old best friend, had to say about her. Let's play this, and then this is what the best friend had to say about her. Okay. So just in case you don't believe that, she's finessed a bunch of men, and she's still finessing them, by the way.
Particular individual struggled with her weight, and instead of doing something about it, she blamed it on me.
Hi, she's talking about me. So Hannah and I were friends from 2002 pre-K until last year when
So let me repeat that beginning just in case you didn't hear it. She was talking about her friend who she decided to body shame, and then she said she got mad at me, right? Okay. So a bunch of young men are always surprised when somebody responds to them negatively when they run their mouth into the hole, right? Like, but why are you getting mad at me? I'm just speaking the truth. Well, keep coming back to Men of Prestige, okay? We'll tell you over time.
Particular individual struggled with her weight, and instead of doing something about it, she blamed it on me.
That statement is one of the reasons why I believe that she truly believed that she might have hit a gold mine of truth. Let me just tell all this truth. A bunch of these men love it. Obviously, it must be the truth. Well, on paper, they are truth, right? But in application in real life, they end up in the mud. Water in real life, right? So now, what does that look like for a big content creator like her? Eventually, a large group of people, you're going to offend them. Yeah. So, but watch this again. The best friend has something to say about her.
Hi, she's talking about me. So Hannah and I were friends from 2002 pre-K until last year when I stopped being friends with her. I'll show you pics. So that was 2005. And this was in 2016 when we lived together. So in the beginning of her video, she's talking about our last conversation we had a year ago in March, where I confronted her about talking about women's bodies and their weight and all that cuckoo bird shit she talks about. And I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And no, she defended it all. So I was like, okay, where?
So, let me rewind back a little bit.
Her weight, and confronted her about we had a year ago in March, where I confronted her about talking about women's bodies and their weight and all that cuckoo bird shit
she said cuckoo bird shit. Why is it cuckoo bird shit? Let's be honest, ladies, because there are truth in them. Okay. Now, again, I'm not holding anyone accountable. I'm pointing attention to you. Like, if these things were not truth, you won't react to it. Let's be honest. If there's no truth in any of this stuff, you will not react to it. There's a certain way that women react to these things because they are laced with truth. However, delivery is always a problem. And yes, the people trying to transplant a message into you, they're responsible for delivery. That's just the reality. Because what's the point if they don't land their message in a productive way? What's the point? It's useless, right? Especially if we're talking about a man that you want to look up to, you want to respect. It's only natural for you to lose respect for that person if they don't know how to talk. It makes sense too, right? So what's the balance? What's the striking balance in between the two? Well, emotions not be anybody's mate. It needs to be respected, either in delivery or in the receiving side of things. If it's some kind of truth to it, you can be a little bit aware too and say, hey, but it won't last for too long, because if a person continues to make you feel a certain type of way, it's not going to last. It's very simple. It's like pushing against the trend of the ocean. Everybody will just drown at best. Okay, let's keep going.
Talks about. And I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And no, she defended it all. So I was like, okay, we're done. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, just kidding. And I still get videos of hers sent to me from people in high school I haven't talked to in forever, being like, is this your friend? Do you defend that? And I have to be like, no.
So there's a lot of misogynistic views, thing that the general society consider misogynistic views coming out of her, because again, she's actively pandering to men, whatever it takes, right? I might even play one more example before we leave, right? Because again, I want to come back. I have more than enough to react to in a few days, right? So of course, people are going to be like, why is he talking like that? I'm like, what do you mean you're talking like that? He's saying that nobody wants fat people. And then, what? He's saying that? Or the reaction could be like, yeah, that's the truth. What do you mean? Well, most human beings, this is the contradiction here. Or here's the kicker for a lot of this young man. They're like surprised that most human beings don't think that way. Well, everybody's lying to themselves. No, they're not lying to themselves. They're a little bit more self-aware than you. They know that human emotions takes over everything. Okay. When people get caught up in their emotions, it's like F your truth. All right, let's keep going.
cut her off a year ago. And she even came to know my friend group here in Michigan when I was still in college and even tried to date 2 of them. Didn't work out. So they'll send stuff to me and I watch it because I just want to see what
entertaining.
bullshit she has to say next. And I have a theory about this. Not that it's literally any excuse that she's doing this, because what she is doing, I can't even put into words how disgusting it is. But I've known her since 2002. I do not think she thinks that way. If she does, fuck her all over again. I don't care.
Well, she doesn't think that way per se. She's buying into, again, it sounds like she's a girl that struggled with dating before she stumbled into this big fame. She's definitely struggled with dating. So now there's a lot of young women coming into this manosphere space on YouTube and I'm like, oh, that's why I'm single. Right? Again, surface level solutions, they don't work. Okay. And then 6 months into the story, they're like, wait, I'm still single. Right? And then some of them will be like, yeah, it's all BS. The other ones will like, let me just keep at it. I believe one day I will find my husband. Some of these men, they like feminine women. They were like, yeah, right. Okay. Nah, it's not gonna work. Okay. Because again, their surface level solutions, they just generally don't work. Okay. It doesn't go to the root of the issues. Okay. Right. When you lack game, aka you lack competence, there's no YouTube talking points that will help you fix that. Yes, even when they are factual truth on paper. Remember, they were always factual truth on paper. There's a reason why human beings were like, F the truth on paper. There was a reason why, even though in the 1960s in your head it was perfect, there's a reason why it failed somewhere in the last few decades. Clearly, it wasn't perfect enough to be sustainable for human beings, right? That's a reason. So if we're not willing to have that conversation, you will keep having people like Just Pearl things coming over, buy into the idea a little bit, make it believable. I think she believes some of it because she struggled too. She's like, I know I treated some of the men like poop. So, right? And then she will go ahead. If she's very good at it, she will finesse a bunch of people. But I think she believed it a little bit, you know. So, but she's more so buying into it, not necessarily believe it. Like she said, she's known her since 2002. And she's like, no, but that's not who she is. Like, nah, she's buying into it. She's studying it. And they make sense on the paper. If she's a very smart girl, let's say she was good in math, she's good in analytics, or she's an analytical person, all this stuff will make sense to her on paper. Why? Because she hasn't had any experience yet, right? So.
But I don't think she does. I think she does it to rev people up and to get more views and to get more money.
I mean, it's getting views.
So all that to say, I'm curious to see once she does find a husband and find a man, is she going to keep this act up? Because is she going to find somebody that shares these exact views with her? Or is she going to meet someone and be like, okay, I don't actually think this way. Anyway, off topic. That last part of her video, she says, and now a year later, this girl is trying to...
Let me play something for you that I completely forgot to play for you. Yeah, we have a new sound effect. You know we have a new guest in the house, right? Will she somehow one day wait and, you know, when she get married, she'll be like, oh yeah, I truly just don't believe in that. No, she won't do that. She will continue to buy into what she buy into. But human emotions not be anybody's mate. When she get caught up in her emotions, she's going to react like normal human beings. We don't know what that looks like until it happens, right? And then that husband who thought he found a feminine woman at that time, we just like,
Nigeria don't report so I to go our call.
finessed. Wala.
To get pregnant and she can't, and weight affects fertility. I didn't know I was trying to get pregnant. I'm not. Now when I last talked to her a year ago,
so what she's talking about is like, well, how are you gonna get pregnant if you're just that fat? They just go on and on and on and on about BS, right? Now, should people be fat? Listen, you're not no, they shouldn't be. They kind of, but you're not saying anything profound. There's nothing new about what you said. You're actually right.
You're right.
But there's nothing profound about what you said. Okay? Now, here's the key thing. You're saying something that will gather a lot of people around who resent their own people, right? Or resent, or they were not happy, or they had an experience with a woman who got fatter. You're married. You're like, yeah, I knew it, but, right? But you're not saying anything profound. So at best, this is useful to build an audience, but it's not useful in personal lives. So we have to keep addressing them as they come. That's why I'm telling you, you will stumble into, you will go and search this girl, you will see her video everywhere. That's how the algorithms work. You will start watching it, you get triggered, but it's okay. We'll start reacting to some of them. When I feel like, hey, this is dangerous to put out there without addressing the nuances of whatever truth she's saying and how it's actually applicable in real life. Let's keep going.
That was my plan, to get pregnant this year with my husband. So I don't know if she
she's
seen
married.
my page from like her siblings' accounts, because I don't follow her on anything and I'm private, but I still follow her siblings, and sees that I'm not pregnant yet, so she's assuming that I'm too fat to get pregnant. And like, how rude, because we really supported each other, like going through a weight loss journey together. I've also seen some clips of her YouTube channel, and she literally lies. She makes up stories or does not tell the truth about her family. So all this to say, she was lying about that whole story to get you revved up about her stupid ass point that she was trying to make.
Yeah, ultimately, I think she knows exactly what she's doing is completely orchestrated. I think so, but I think she's also buying into them, because when you repeat certain rhetorics over and over again, you start to believe them too. Okay. There are actually men who stumble into this manosphere space because of a good reason. They had an experience, they Googled something, they stumbled here, they find a few, more than enough truth that can align with how they feel. And they're like, yeah, that's the absolute truth, and it's just not, right? They will just end up collecting more and more, you know? So that's my introduction for you to just probably things. Can I call her a fraud? I don't know. I don't want to do that. I think there's a lot of people on YouTube that precisely build their platform around extreme polarized views because they know that's how it works, right? I can't call her a fraud because she's not exactly lying. It's just that there's no experience. She didn't tell. She's always said, listen, I am she's always said, I am this is purely entertainment. She's not trying to advise people. She's disclaimed the idea of trying to advise people. What she's effectively doing that, you know. Hold on one second. All right, so I don't think she's lying. I don't think she would lie. It comes with the territory. But ultimately, I think if anybody feels like she's a fraud, they have a good reason to feel like she's a fraud. I think it makes sense to feel like she's a fraud. But again, what are your expectations of an advice on YouTube? All of this always come back to self, right? I'll try my best to continue to address some of the stupid rhetorics, but what's your expectations of an advice on YouTube? If you're in fact dealing with a real life issue, right? At some point, you have to get behind the scenes, talk to someone on a personal level, and let them tell you the truth of your own story. Because there's more than enough people like Just Pearl Things out there. All they want is just to build a YouTube platform. Okay? Don't wait until you find out they're racist before you're like, oh, she's lying all the way, or she's been lying. Has she been lying? She told you it was pure entertainment, right? She told you exactly what it was. But I think she's highly entertaining. I think the ignorance is highly entertaining. Okay, so I think we will continue to come back to it and continue to talk about it. We will come back and continue to address a lot of the talking points, particularly when it has to do with relationships. We have to come back to it. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. So yes, we'll be right back. Don't forget, we'll be doing a full live session during the week, reacting to a ton of our rhetorics, so it will make more sense. But go ahead, watch some videos and stuff like that, and make sure you're back here so we can continue to talk about it. I'll be right